Alright, so we're running into our first and only real issue with this bike. We're gonna park. We're gonna put it in low, so the clutch is loaded. A lot of force. A lot of force. Also, see, it makes it jump. The bike will jump. We are creeping. We are moving. Driving into the shed because the clutch is dragging that bad. And we are about to pull off the primary and the secondary, swap it out with an XP1000 High Lifter Edition primary and secondary, and hope for the best. Okay, these are the clutches that I was talking about. They are practically the same as the General. They even have the same spring in the primary and secondary. The weights are a little bit different on the High Lifter. They are actually a little bit heavier, not by much, only a few grams. So we're going to run it, especially with running the larger bighorns, and then I have some 32s ordered, so spoiler alert there. I have a HunterWorks belt and 2 stock Polaris XP1000 belts. That just has a sleeve over it, stock Polaris. So we're going to put the HunterWorks belt on. I did put the rollers in the secondary. I will put a brief clip of that install right here. Very straightforward, and there's a flat spot right here that faces up. You can grab them with pliers and simply just twist them right out. Now, this is what people are talking about with these square pucks. This is a 300-mile clutch, and you can already see and feel the grooving. It's not bad. It didn't actually damage your tolerance. Sometimes this actually eats all the way through and you get a bunch of a backlash, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I am going to just smooth this out a little bit with some sandpaper, kind of cross hatch it, get these grooves out, and that way our new rollers have a nice surface to go up and down on. And you see, still a very good fitment. And then I think this should solve our issue, which I believe is the one-way bearing is bad in our other clutch. The XP1000s just have a traditional bearing, traditional roller, 2-way. So let's get this on and see what happens for our shifting. Got our belt removal tool in. Pull this belt, and then we can pull our secondary, and then I will pull this bolt and install the actual puller tool for our primary. And just also to note, this belt is brand new, which makes me believe that this thing has eaten a belt before. Maybe when it grenaded, it did a little damage. I should just pull right off. There we go. Nothing terrible burnt into it. Okay, let's get the primary off. 21mm bolt is out of our primary. Here's your generic puller tool. I do put a little grease on my threads and on the tip just for friction. This grease will never affect the actual threads where it goes into the crankshaft. It's simply just to help it not bind internally. 22mm. Your factory bolt is a 21. And let's knock this thing off. Once again, this thing has failed me. Time to get the air. Okay, good old Ingersoll ram. Take 2. There she is. So here are our clutches. Obviously shiny is the low mileage, and these are the original. Put them on our side here. And from what I can tell, from the forms, from parts diagram, this is called a one-way bearing. But it's a 2-way. Now, it could be some kind of mid-year change. This is definitely a smooth 2-way. Spring rates are the same. I think it's a 105. Let's see if I can get it in there. it's not going to focus, but both springs are 105s. Like I said, the weights are slightly heavier on the high lifter. For our secondary, it did have the square pucks. It did could create some wear. Of course, there is some factory play. There's some wear. Only thing I can see different on here is on the back. This is the helix, or whatever you want to call it. I do see a 4X because this is a 4-seater. And right here, I do see a 2X because this was a 2-seater. I'm assuming this is different. Let's actually look at the part number here because they are stamped. They're going to be different, obviously. 423010. This is 423019. So it is a different part number. It might perform differently, but it came off of a high lifter. I'm thinking for that torque, maybe Polaris put a little more torquey engagement in here. Only one way to find out. There is your HunterWorks rollers. That is what you need to do to solve the wear issues on these secondaries. But I'm hoping to get rid of this, put on this low mileage unit. It's a bit of an experiment. They'll come off again, no big deal. Let's put a correct clutch kit in it, but I want to see what this does right out the gate. So let's get her on. Let's see. There we go. Felt it engage that time. And don't worry. Grant is here. M-Dog is here.
No, not Dog and Mason.
Yeah, oh, Mason, sorry. Family affair here. Okay, so all I have to do is one rugged dug with the impact just to set it. It is a taper lock clutch. And then we set it torque wrench. 96 foot-pounds and 55 for the secondary. So I'm going to use this very sophisticated tool here. Put a piece of wood right there, let it spin over, and it will lock your primary. Same for your secondary. Put it right here. And when you put 55 foot-pounds, it'll tighten it right on up. Might actually lock it in one of these fins. We'll fiddle with it a little bit. But general concept, keep the clutches from spinning while you torque them. All right, everything's on. Stock HunterWorks belt. Clutches are tight. Did about 80 foot-pounds on the primary bolt, and I got a click there. Went to 85, got a click. Just when I got to about 95, I wasn't getting that extra click, and you can stretch that bolt and break it. I gave it one rugga-dugga, which I just said not to do, but use your brain. It did not move anymore. I do know this thing will definitely put down 100 foot-pounds. So yeah, same with this. I actually did 40 foot-pounds. And then I clicked one little notch above it. So it's between 40 and 55. Again, I know that sounds stupid, but believe me, when you break one of these bolts, you learn your lesson. Let's fire it up and see what happens. Moment of truth. When I put it in high or low, will I run into my four-wheeler? Off the brake. Oh, perfect. No brake. Neutral. Low. Reverse. Park. Oh yeah. Shifts like new. And there you go. That's what it should look like. The bearing is doing its job. So sure enough, it was this bearing right here failing. It's weird, it spins completely free. But what I did notice is that it will bind every now and then. So it was like an intermittent problem. If we have the problem again, it's going to be clutch alignment. But for now, I can already tell you, my secondary was ripping before we swapped these out. And now, sitting completely smooth. Very happy. So this video helps, guys. Smash that like button. I always appreciate it. Do it for Grant. Do it for NASA. See y'all next time.